say we N-I-double-G-E-R. We are much more. Still we choose to ignore the obvious. Man, this history don't acknowledge us. We were scholars long before colleges.
Alright, I'm gonna keep it 100 here. Okay? I was very disappointed to hear about the divorce between Nas and Kelis. I was big fans of the idea of both of them being together. I liked the way that she was rowdy. You know, I liked the way, you know, Nas was moving, especially with his lyrics as of late have been more on the conscious tip. So I was really pulling for them as a couple. Now, when the rumors came out that she had been in some kind of sex tape or what have you, you know, that probably really hurt Nas. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of crazy, especially if that occurred while they were together. I could see how that could be an issue. Obviously, anybody could see how that could be an issue, you know, if your wife, you know, doing something like that. But I remember hearing him say one time that I think he was interviewed on the Tyra Banks show, and Tyra was asking him about, hey, I see you don't have your ring on. He said, man, my marriage way beyond rings. I was like, damn, I like that, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it was simple words, but he was just like, you know, our marriage way beyond rings. Like, it just seemed like they had something special. So I was a fan of the relationship. But now, with that being said, this heifer crazy. You know what I'm saying? She about to get about 50 G's a month. You know what I'm saying? 50 G's a month. Like, I'm with what Martin Lawrence said. You know what I'm saying? You brought her back in. Shit, when you leave, you're going to take that same bag and you're going to be out. See, nobody's saying that the other half, when they leave, that they shouldn't get a certain amount of funds. Okay? We're not saying that a father shouldn't pay X amount in child support. That's not what we're talking about. We are talking about astronomical amounts. We're talking about financing a lifestyle that somebody wants to continue to live. That shit is crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? See, this is why there was a guy back in the day that played for, I think, the Carolina Panthers. I think it was Ray Caruth, and he had the issue about the girlfriend, and I guess he was going to break up with her. Something was going on. She was pregnant, and he wound up setting it up to where she got killed. Now, I'm not endorsing things like that, but I'm saying when people are not thinking correctly and people go crazy, because this is highly publicized. See, we know what Nas, we know this. They're highly publicized, so we know what's going on. But when people are not highly publicized, this is why shit happens like this. You know what I'm saying? This is why incidents occur where people are like, yo, this bitch about to get half of everything. Like, in other words, the court system is not even set up to even console the male. You understand what I'm saying? To console the male, to basically say, yo, you've been the breadwinner this whole time. We're not going to let you off completely. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, we understand that you were the one that really brought everything to this relationship. But they don't even do that. It's like they're not even understanding that way. So when things happen to people, when people end up missing and stuff like that, this is why shit goes down like this, because people think, yo, I'm not going to let this bitch get the best of me. Like, I'm not going to let her have half of what I done. See, this is the thing. This is not a situation where Nas and Kelis, when they got together, he blew up. So therefore, she was instrumental in his blowing up. See? He was already hot before the whole milkshake thing. You understand what I'm saying? Before she came into the picture. See, but you have to think that way. You know what I'm saying? It's like shit is just not right. It's like it's set up. It just ain't right. And when people get crazy, people who are not in the public, but when they get crazy and they do dumb shit, this is why. Because somebody's going to get $50,000 a month, you know, just for, because they, you know, they lay down in the bed with the guy. You understand what I'm saying? Because that's what it's going. Because that's what it's really coming down to. You know what I mean? I hate to reduce it to that. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, that's the way people see it. You know? I mean, the marriage, you know, just because somebody laid down with them, all of a sudden now, you basically have to pay restitution in order for me to allow you to go free, so now you can do whatever it is that you would like to do. But still, the female gets the best end of the deal. Especially if she's the cause of, especially if this whole thing broke down because of her indiscretions. You see? See, that just doesn't make any sense to me. You know, but you know what though? It don't have to make sense to me. Because I'm not the one that's involved in the whole situation. But I do see why Nas said, hey yo, let me slide a 20 grand and let this thing be over with. You know what I'm saying? And just call it quits. Because he knows she makes money too. But now he has to pay for the court fees, the lawyer fee, her lawyer. This is crazy, man. I mean, but hey, we do live in America where in certain areas throughout the country, if you have welcome mats at your front door, somebody comes in your house and robs it or tries to steal from you, and they break their ankle in the process, they can sue you. They can sue you. Now that's crazy, but that's where we live. Land of the free, home of the slave.